Welcome to
Core Memory Unlocked.
Hello?
New intro, baby.
New intro, new attitude, bad dudes on your network, in this network. Hi, I'm Zach. That's Justin.
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing, bud?
I'm doing all right.
Doing all right. Long time no see. And if you are a Patreon member of the Throw Me Podcast Network, this isn't your first run-in with Justin and myself on this preview episode, because we have an episode on our Patreon right now of Love Ya Buddy, which you can check out. We're going to get into things that have been happening to us on that show. This is something else. This is a preview. This is a preview of things to come. But I'm going to tell you right now, Justin, look at this. Look at that.
What is it? I can't read it.
Athletic Brewing Oktoberfest. Look at that pretzel on the can.
I do like that. Ooh,
Oktoberfest. The only thing is, and I like this one, I've had it a couple of times now, and I'm going to pour it in this Busch Gardens pub glass I have. It's 2 gold.
Okay.
Like, when I think Oktoberfest, I think like amber.
Okay, I see what you mean. It's a little lighter. It's not.
It's a little lighter.
Doesn't have that reddish hue to it.
Right. But tastes amazing.
Okay, great. I was gonna say it's.
And tomorrow, I've already got this thing ordered at Total Wine. You know what I'm picking up tomorrow?
Tell me.
Bravis Pumpkin Dark. That's right.
Ooh.
My NA Pumpkin Dark beer came in finally. And I'm going to go pick it up at the Virginia Beach Total Wine. If you try to steal it because I said where it is, you're fucking dead wrong. Because guess what? This is weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. It's too late. It's gone. It's been drank.
It's too late. So we've taken kind of a hiatus, though we have put out little splatters of fun little stuff. The Beverly Hills Cop series, the Deadpool and Wolverine series that we were doing.
Yep, we've been around.
We've been around, but we've been gearing up for this season because I wanted to take 1993 seriously. As much fun as we've had on previous seasons between T2, Days of Thunder, City Slickers, all these movies were great. But this year seems pretty focused on like hit bangers after bangers.
Absolutely. We're getting deep into the 90s now.
Right.
And that's when like this early to the mid 90s is where it really pops for me. And we are tasting that full on in 1993.
Hell yes. And so much so, we're starting the season off with a 1992 movie, ENCINO Man.
That's right. Because it somehow got overlooked.
It got overlooked. But I think it's going to play severely into our future for a number of reasons. One, Pauly Shore. And, we'll get into that when we do. But I have so many, things I'm excited about talking about that movie. But first, before we get into it, to set you guys up, if you want to follow along on this series, we have started our first 4 movies that we are going to do for 1993. So if you want to watch them first and then go with us on this journey, the first 4 movies that we are going to do, we're starting with Jurassic Park, obviously. Biggest hit of the year. Then we're going to go into Mrs. Doubtfire, Robin Williams classic, Barn Burner. Then, because this is dropping near spooky season, we're going to do Hocus Pocus, and then we're going to finish it up with Nightmare Before Christmas. So, we have a good set of the first 4, and then we'll release more as we go. But, I asked you before we recorded, did you want me to drop an idea? And we're going to figure it out right. Oh God, I'm dying right here. Okay. Right here. We're going to figure it out. So I asked you earlier, because when we do these, we usually have a list of what we've seen, things you've seen, things I obviously have seen, but some things you haven't seen.
Correct.
So I asked you a list of movies, and I think when we get to the end of 93, when we're done, said and done with all the ones we've rewatched, I think the next part of this 93 season is doing a first time watch along with you on several of these movies. And the ones that you had up here that we have to do, in my opinion, because we've done this where it's like, well, let's cover Star Trek 6, even though you've never seen it before.
Yes. Yep.
I think it's more fun if we're doing a live watch to it. And then the whole episode is your reaction and my reaction with you.
Right.
So we have Demolition Man, Batman, Mask of the Phantasm, Hearts and Souls, and The Fugitive. I think those are the 4 that we have to do.
Hearts and Souls I've never even heard of.
Oh, I think I showed you a trailer of it on this show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And I still don't even remember it. I'm going to look it up now on my phone.
It's a Robert Downey Jr. led piece with Elizabeth Shue, Alfred Woodard. Yeah. Anyways, it's oh man, I can't wait till we watch it. I can't wait till we watch it. So
no, this wasn't anywhere on my radar ever.
So what we might do, what I'm thinking is we'll get through half the movies, because I feel like we have 15 to 18 1993 movies. I think if we do half, maybe do 2 watch-alongs to break it up, then we'll do the next half, and then we'll wrap it up with 2 more.
Okay, great.
I'm into it.
Great. Yes, love it. Let's do that. That's the plan.
Business is out, and we're good.
Yep.
So tonight we are doing 1992's Encino Man. This movie is about a caveman who is frozen in ice, and then he has been thawed in 1992 in Encino, California. So, in case if you are one of the, I wouldn't say fortunate, because this movie rocks, spoilers. We're going to watch the trailer in case if you have not seen it. So here we go.
I love watching these trailers.
Right?
Recently, 2 high school students unearthed a prehistoric man in their
Why
own
does this
backyard.
look like it's recorded?
Their story is completely true.
Is it? Oh, this trailer's rough. Wow. What a trailer.
ENCINO Man.
Flamage. He's so greasy.
So greasy. This trailer is done in such a weird way.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be the whole trailer. But like, maybe it was really early on before they had a lot of it shot. But
who's the guy in the Dork Squad? Is he fun or what?
This guy's our ticket to fame and popularity. All we gotta do is get him enrolled in school,
the brunette
and he'll
friend.
help us become.
Oh yes. The one Link's practically trying to just own.
Yes. But she's into it.
Yeah, like in person, she's like, "Eh, get away from me! God, I want to fuck that guy."
No, yeah.
The beverage.
What are you doing, Mrs. Tony?
We figure we's a little juice.
No, we sing the juice.
Sing the juice.
Hollywood Pictures presents ENCINO Man. He's a million years old.
Milk does the body good, huh?
Oh my God!
Great hair.
And living proof that evolution is
We're just
not
seeing all the bits now.
science.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Squeeze in the juice.
Oh!
Buddy, you got him talking like you now.
Okay. Oh wow! We ended it with that.
With the weasel sound.
The weasel.
Is this like the first has there been previous Pauly Shore movies?
No, That's what's interesting about this.
I know he was
me.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like,
now.
This movie is the introduction of Pauly Shore.
Well, right, but wasn't he like an MTV like VJ or something first? He was a popular. He was a personality for sure before he got into movies.
Right, and maybe that's what it is, because I do feel like everybody was into his shtick, and there was no like gateway into it. And like you saw it right there, it was like the convenience store clerk was like, "Nobody's in the juice." Like, everybody. Yeah. Sean Astin, to convince him, he was like, "You get that greenage, huh?" Like. Everybody knew who Pauly Shore was, apparently. So, yeah, maybe he was a VJ. Because his mom
he did
own the comedy store or something,
yes, that's true. Correct. Yeah, he definitely... hold on. I scrolled down too far. He was definitely like a personality, and I think it was kind of on MTV and stuff like that, because I also read that he was originally offered the role of Link for this movie.
Makes sense.
But then he was like, yeah, but it's like it's not a speaking part. And a big part about Pauly Shore is him talking. And so he met with like the Disney execs and stuff. And then what they did is they rewrote the best friend character to be Pauly Shore, and then Pauly Shore just improvised most of his lines. So he was like fully realized as a personality before this movie was made. They knew that, okay, this is not like a risk that they took. They knew like, oh, Pauly Shore is this fun guy. Let's put him in the movie and let him do whatever he wants to do.
And he is really fun.
Oh, absolutely. Oh my God. Like if it wasn't for Pauly Shore, Sean Astin, which is just like a home run actor, and then Brendan Fraser, like as this, if it wasn't for the three of them, that casting, this movie I think would be like garbage. I don't think anyone would have remembered this movie, but I think their performances carry the movie.
There is, and it's not just them. I do think the entire supporting cast is good. Like, I love the bad guy in this movie.
Yeah, I agree. He's from Wayne's World. He's from Wayne's World, too.
Right. And he's also, like, that's where, I feel the original meme came from, where, like, Sean Astin waves.
Yeah, and he comes
in.
I love that moment so much. I agree. I like him a lot, too. I agree.
And like you said, the brunette's really good. Like, everybody in this movie works. What's wild to me, and the first note that I took down was this movie is a 1980s movie lucking out that someone was still okaying 80 movies in 1992. Like the premise of this is something of the world of Teen Wolf. You know what I mean?
Yes, 100%.
So like it's funny because the technology, you can tell it's 90s. Like, you know, it's in a different era. But I swear to God, this movie is trapped in a time capsule, no pun intended, from a different era.
Right, yeah, I can see that. It is very like Teen Wolf, like, because there's no logic to it whatsoever. I mean, they live in Los Angeles, California, and 10 feet buried under the ground is not warm enough for this ice cube to melt.
Just pool length.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If they had built the house just 20 feet further back, they would have discovered this. And then him being alive is a whole other story. But yeah, I mean, that's all logic completely aside. It's just like, let's just have the fun of there being like a teen wolf. There being like a teenager caveman that they bring to school with them and all that stuff. I agree. It's very like 80s thing.
Well, and you said it right there. Like, Teen Wolf is about a kid who wants to be better than he is, so he becomes a wolf to do the sport that he loves. But by the end of it, he's like, "Oh, I don't want to do the sport. I don't want to do it as a wolf." Where this movie, it's about a kid who's not popular, and he feels for some fucking reason a fucking caveman is going to make him popular. But instead of that, the caveman becomes popular, and then he starts hating on the caveman because of it. And Pauly Shore, who I think the reason why this movie is held by glue by him is because he just wants Link to have a happy life, and he wants to be with his friends.
He's completely selfless,
Right. So
yeah,
there are moments in this movie I'm just like, I don't care if fucking Sean Astin fucking dies. Like if Link just loses his mind at one point, and then this becomes a Link vehicle. Because Sean Astin's entire motivation doesn't make sense, but very Teen Wolf in itself. So much so, at one point, there's going to be a dance at a prom because, of course, it's an 80s movie with a dance, and everybody knows how to do the dance.
Right. Yes. Correct.
We'll get to the prom in a bit.
Yeah. We'll get there. What do
you think about the girl Sean Astin's all about?
Robin, because they were like childhood friends. Right. I don't like that she doesn't like. I get like she friend zoned him. That's fine. He needs to like get over it. But I can get like he's kind of hung up on it. But she also just like flat out does not want to be seen around him. Right. Like it's bad for her. I'm like, first of all, I don't see her as like that popular of a person. And I don't see him as that dorky of a person. Like they try to frame the movie as like they're two crazy extremes. And I'm like, I don't know. He seems like kind of a normal guy to me. Yeah. If he was not chubby, like if he lost weight, if he went to the gym, he would look just like the bad guy in this movie.
Oh, 100%.
They have the same hair. They look so much alike. It's just that Sean Astin's character is just David is a little chubbier, but it's like it's not too big of a difference.
I think that's the biggest flaw with the movie is that everybody's motivations don't necessarily fit the mold of the person that's on screen. Like Matt and Sean Astin's like fight, like you would presume it like, oh no, he's picking on that kid. Fuck that. Sean Astin's talking shit to him. During it. And he's like, oh, why are you messing with my girl? Get bit, man. Oh, I knew you were going, what? Yeah. Like, you can't fight back and then ask for sympathy.
For sure. Right. Exactly. Yeah, for sure. And he is like constantly just hitting on someone else's girl. Like, this isn't like a Gaston where like he just wants her and she's single. It's like, no, they are dating. Like, dude, quit hitting on somebody who has a boyfriend already.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, it's okay to have like a crush but you are not only voicing this so much, you're trying to figure out ways for them to break up.
Right, yes.
Like to break them up. You are the Kevin McAllister of relationships, and you're trying to put him through your house of horrors.
Right. The other thing that seems crazy about her character and her motivations is that, so we've already established like her friend, the brunette, is into Link.
Yeah.
Right. Wants him bad, is into it, right? They're the one that goes on the date.
So bad.
Right. So when they all go out joyriding on a car that can just ride on it, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah. Right.
All right, we got to bring it up. We're sidebarring. He takes a car. They somehow get it. They drive around town on two wheels before stopping at a bar stocked of people drinking and dancing in the middle of a school day. Okay, this is going to be maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a school day. People are drinking and partying at this bar like it's Saturday night. Like, forget that. So then they go in there. Nobody cards them. Nobody cares. Pauly Shore, high schooler, drinking tequila. I mean, this is all wild.
Just going to town. And those guys being like, drink it.
Right.
Where's the worm? You are the worm.
It's insane. So then they run out, and then eventually they get arrested. Robin gets away, but they get arrested. He makes this one call in prison to ask her to the dance, and she says, no, can you ask Ling to go with me instead? So not only are you betraying him, but also your best friend likes Link. Like, bitch, you are crazy. It was insane. It was absolutely insane of her.
I thought that as well, because then Sean Astin's like, fuck life, I hate life, whatever, and finally gets out. But like, when they are at prom, even to kind of fast forward a little bit, because I want to get to the dance part of this.
Yeah.
But the end of that, when Matt comes out, because eventually Matt goes in Sean Astin's room, trying to figure out some shit, and accidentally finds the Polaroids of Caveman Link. So he's like, oh, I'm gonna call him out at the prom. Goes to prom, goes on stage, and he's like, you guys have been fans of a caveman, and no one's really paying mind, because who fucking would? Like
exactly.
like they handled that situation exactly how it would have.
He's a caveman, and everyone's just like, "What are you saying, dude?
What are you doing, Matt?"
For sure.
Sean Astin's
100%.
supposed to be the crazy one,
and there's no way to prove. It's not like this is like a Teen Wolf scenario where there's any way to prove
everybody's seen him as a wolf, right?
right, exactly. There's just where did you see this going, dude? But anyway, yeah, keep going.
So then the pictures are picked up by Robin, and Robin's looking at the pictures like, I can't believe this. He's a caveman.
Yeah, he is a caveman, yeah.
Immediately snaps into Sean Astin dancing with her and him being like, watch this. And then does the dance that Link knows how to do because Link has been picking up some stuff. I do like that. Link's like, I've been watching TV, I've been watching music, I'm doing my own caveman dance. Which, by the way, another Teen Wolf reference because the Teen Wolf does a Teen Wolf dance. Again, we're watching Teen Wolf. So they're all doing the dance, but all I could think was, why are we just dropping that Robin had some kind of problem with this and immediately forgot about it?
And then completely ignoring it, yeah. And then now cut to the after party in his pool. Okay, let's cut back to the beginning of the movie. This high schooler is digging out his own pool with a shovel.
With a shovel!
In hopes to throw a party. Like literally, the opening shot of the movie is showing all of these Encino houses, these beautiful houses with pools. He's the only backyard without a pool.
Yeah.
So it's safe to assume all of the kids at this high school, very white high school, they probably all have their own pools. And he's going to go, hey, I hand dug my own pool. You want to come to mine for a party? Like, that's never going to happen. But guess what? Flip back to the end of the movie. It happens. Everyone goes to his house, and then Robin kisses him. Like, I don't know. All of a sudden, he's just like, she's just like, you know what? I'm into you now.
His plan worked. Pools get chicks.
Exactly.
Just like Johnny from Cobra Kai, kicks get chicks. Pools get chicks in Encino as well. Also, like, the reaction would have been the same as that prom about the caveman. Hey, I got a pool. Okay. We all got pools.
We all have pools, except ours was professionally built.
Yeah, yours is going to have problems. The liner in that thing is not going to hold up. Yeah. This thing's going to take water and mud's going to come out. This is going to be horrible. If this was
like a white trash neighborhood and
that would have made this movie way better.
The guy who digs his own pool would be king, no question. But that's not what we are. We're in Encino.
That's right. Like, you're in the valley, baby. Okay, if this is Reseda, if this is a different place in California where Daniel LaRusso goes, sure, I can believe it.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that all this going on, and then the very end, because at the beginning, Link reaches out for a girl. Girl doesn't, she gets trapped as well, but eventually she's up. I don't know how we missed her in this entire scenario.
There was another earthquake.
There was a mini quake.
Yeah, there was a little mini quake, and I guess that shook this other ice cube loose. And she
Can we talk about that? Just like in the beginning when there was handprints, but when they noticed her, they saw handprints and booby prints.
And boob prints, way bigger than her actual boobs are.
Booby prints.
But yeah.
And then they go up there, and just like Link gets a montage of getting clean and dressed.
I also love that as a cave woman, she drew herself a bubble bath.
She did. She knew how from the get.
On her own. It must be instinctual how to draw your own bath.
How to draw your own bath.
Even though you're 10,000 years old.
I was blown away.
Logic, who cares? Like, none of that. We said goodbye to that at the very beginning of the movie.
And that's why this movie works, is because as much complaints as I do have about Sean's character, everything else is just a fun time. Link and Pauly Shore, their entire banter together and how he's trying to teach him, takes him to the gas station, teach him how to talk. All that is
the food
delightful.
Groups. Keep on cruising. Keep on cruising.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
Tremendous stuff.
Pauly Shore is incredible. He is absolutely riveting. Like, what a great character and a great shtick, and the way he talks is just so much fun. The only thing that's not believable with his character in this movie is, like, I feel like he's supposed to be one of the dorks, but he would be one of the coolest fuckers in the school. I mean, the fact that, you know what I mean? Like, he's so fucking cool. Like, he doesn't give a shit about anything. He's just, like, purely good times. Like, at one point, Robin's hang up with Dave is that he's, like, too uptight and he doesn't know how to let loose. And then she sees Link, and he knows how to let loose and have a good time, and that's what makes her attracted to him, which I totally get. But that's purely Pauly Shore's character. That's Stoney's character, man. His name is Stoney. He's just loosey-goosey, have fun, everything's good. So he would be one of the coolest kids in the school. That was the only thing I did not buy. I'm like, he'd be pulling pussy like crazy.
And you could even, like, say to the, like, yeah, maybe he's not jock level, like, famous with them, but he would have been friends with every single group. He would have had 2 to 3 people from each group that really liked him, and then it would just been an entire Stoney army.
Yeah, he wasn't like a jock guy, but he's like totally like, you know how like Prince is like a huge sexual icon and not a jock at all and like somewhat like feminine. That's what Pauly Shore, and Pauly Shore's a very handsome dude as well. So he, I mean, would have had it all going for him.
I loved his, like, that was an early note for me as well, is like that pink net thing that he was wearing.
Yeah.
I was like, that's how you tell he doesn't give a shit, and he would have been fucking bossa nova at this school.
Yes, absolutely.
100%.
Girls would have been so, it's like a Pete Davidson like type scenario where it's just like, it's the attitude that's alluring. Yeah, for sure. So he would have been so, every time I saw him like on like the school campus, I mean, first of all, he's hilarious when they're driving on the little moped. Get out the way, can't you see we're trying to get through? Everything he says is funny.
Oh yeah, knocked it out of the park.
But yeah, he would have, like, anytime I saw him out there, and I'm like, oh, he would have been, when he was like mimicking the way that the guy walked.
Oh yeah, he was like, he walked like this.
I'm like, this guy's awesome. He gives no shit. Like, everyone would want to be his friends, no question.
Yeah, and you can see why this is the beginning of like his, 5 to 6 years of just. Like
blowing,
after this, he just gets so many vehicles.
Yeah, then he starts doing leading roles 1,000%. Yeah,
which is funny because I don't know this, or maybe I've just forgotten it as like one of the things from a kid to an adult. But what I also love is that Brandon Fraser and him obviously are friends, because when doing a little research, Brandon Fraser is a cameo in 1993, which we'll watch, Son-in-Law.
Son-in-Law, right.
Where he plays Link.
Oh, I do kind of remember that.
Then he's going to cameo in 1994's In the Army Now as Link.
One of my favorites. Oh, really? I probably only remember one, not both. But I've seen In the Army Now so many times, and I'm
That's
not
my
placing
least.
that one.
That's my least. So
really?
I'm very interested.
That one I had on VHS, and so it was one of the ones that me and Leanne still quote it to this day.
I guess Pauly Shore for me, it's this movie and obviously Biodome.
Yeah, Biodome. Yeah, that's true. Biodome is top tier.
Right.
I even watched Jury Duty.
I was about to say Jury Duty is actually the one that I probably, it goes Bio, this, Jury Duty. And then it's everything else.
And then his other ones. Okay.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
But
we're gonna see Pauly Shore popping up a lot in the next upcoming seasons of this show.
Get ready for Pauly Core Unlocked. Okay,
man. Yeah.
But overall, this movie is so watchable. This movie is just a good time.
It's silly and it's fun and
And like you said, this is the beginning of that Pauly ride that we're going to go on, because I don't see us not doing Pauly Shore movies going forward.
Right. Oh, yeah, no question. I got to do them.
We have to do them. All right. So this is the preview of 1993. Thank you for watching along. Watch ENCINO Man. I had to rent it. Did you rent it?
No, I streamed it on one of those sites, and it was
okay.
had some buffering issues. Other than that,
don't put it out. I paid hard, good earned money.
yeah, you did. I know. I thought about it. I'm just a cheapskate.
That's fine. I get it. But yeah, so 1993 is around the corner. We'll start with Jurassic Park. And the way that we're going to do this show, we'll have 3 movies in a row. So you'll get Jurassic Park, you'll get Mrs. Doubtfire, and then you'll get me doing a solo thing. So if you are watching these movies and you have comments, concerns, complaints that you want to talk about that I can bring up on this show for a solo Core Memory Unlocked, make sure you drop them in the comments or DM us on ThrowMePodNet right there. Do what you got to do. I want to have conversations about these movies. We have thoughts. What are your thoughts?
Yep.
So, if you have not joined Patreon, go on Patreon right now. We're in the $2 tier. Me and Justin show $2 tier. I'm making it nice for new entry people if you haven't joined yet. So our show will be in the $2 tier. You can have fun with us. So till then, love you, buddy.
Love you, buddy.
Buddy.
But
The whistle.